Hello, I'm KV and I'm the author of The One, which is a bit of a spicy memoir I wrote about a significant period of time in my life and lots of life lessons. And so I thought today would be a really cool thing for Megan here to pick a little just random passage in the book. And I can elaborate a little bit more about what I was thinking at the time, what I might have meant by that, or just more information about some of the things that are inside.
All right, we agreed to meet up the following weekend. I met with two girlfriends and I told them I was in a relationship with my soulmate. They were shocked. I never talked about men having actual names before. This was uncharted territory for us all.
Yes, I do remember that.
Tell us, what was going on?
I remember that well. You know, it's interesting. So this was a period, this was probably 2021, probably 4 years ago now. And I, epically on a search for my soulmate. And I went to extreme efforts to do lots of dating for this soulmate. But interestingly, at the same time, I did it in an incredibly private space. So none of my friends knew I was doing this. I went to so much effort and I went to, just really, really, really focused on it, and yet didn't tell anyone in my real life. So it was very like one thing or the other, and it was just the two worlds did not collide. If I had any dates with anyone, none of my friends knew about the date and they didn't know about the guy. I just didn't talk about anyone. And this one was interesting because it was a guy that I'd seen quite a few times and actually started to have feelings for, and I had decided he was the guy that I wanted to be with. And I remember having these really strong emotions, and I thought, I'm going to tell my friends, and this is going to be really huge, and and I went round and I gathered these two friends to my house and I sat them down and I said, I've met someone, and they were like, whoa. And then basically, one of them I don't think believed me.
She's right.
And she started talking about how she'd found her soulmate, and then the afternoon became about her and her soulmate, and the focus really shifted from my position, because I think the situation was, no one's got any backup, no one's got any history, people didn't know that I was even dating. So for me to make this announcement, it was just like, okay. And then so then the focus became about her and what she was doing, and the whole afternoon was not about me anymore. And it's interesting because that is how that relationship worked out.
Giving you a clue of what was to come.
Yeah, it wasn't about me anymore. And I kind of worked out, it occurred to me then, I think I never wanted to tell my friends when I was in love with someone or when something happened with someone that I felt was special, because I was worried about being hurt and everyone would know. And I was just really obsessed with no one's ever going to find out when I'm crying, which meant I cried alone a lot, because people didn't know that I was going through stuff. And I talk about this in the book a little bit too. I like to cry alone. I realize that's a weird take on life. It's made me much stronger because I don't rely on other people to pick me up when I'm down, and I can be at the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the lows and pull myself out of it. I don't need anyone else at all to pull myself out of it. And that is so empowering when you are out of it. When you're in it, not so much. But one thing I did learn from the end of the book, and when my family and friends started to read it and they started to see the things I had gone through and the depths of my emotions, they all made me promise, don't do that anymore.
Yeah, well, fair enough too.
Don't do that anymore. You can tell us. Yeah.
So where do you stand now with talking about things like dating and whatnot?
Well, interesting. I'm still pretty private about who I would currently date, but not for the same reasons. It's not to do with protecting my heart or anything else. It's mostly to do with the fact that my whole life's out there now, and it's respecting other people's privacy because it's just the right thing to do for them. I feel like even if something's not going to work out, I don't don't believe that it's like your fault, or like I'm not a finger pointer about things not happening in dating, and so I don't want I want to continue that. I want to continue respecting people's privacy, respecting their boundaries, and uh, it's nice to feel integrous in that area, given how much I've shared. But people who have read the book will see and know that I feel like have been quite integrous with all the things I've shared anyway. So yeah.
Definitely. And do you have any advice, or what would be your advice if somebody was going through the same thing and not wanting to show you themselves hurt or crying or anything like that? Is it something you'd recommend to make you stronger, or something you'd recommend to reach out to somebody?
Well, it depends on the situation. Depends on the friends you've got. If you've got a friend that's going to try and fix it, that's going to try and make it better, that's a problem solver, don't recommend telling them. If you've got a friend that can hold space for you and sit in the mud with you and share it with you and just feel with you and let you feel it and don't try and make you feel better and be better and rise above when you're not ready to rise, then absolutely share that. But make sure the friend is worthy first, because if the friend is going to make you feel better because they feel uncomfortable with your emotions.
Thank you for sharing, KB. This one little tiny snippet of the one.
Anytime.